Just 24 hours after the Gandhis turned mediators in a bid to quell the long-standing dissent in Punjab between their closest confidant Navjot Singh Sidhu and Congress's strongest Chief Minister Amrinder Singh. A full-fledged plan to placate Sidhu seems to be under consideration by the Gandhis. The Grand Old Party has planned to give Sidhu a bigger and a more prominent role in Punjab Congress and has also decided to keep Captain Amrinder Singh as the Congress face in upcoming Punjab poll. At least that's the buzz that's doing the rounds in political circles in Punjab and Delhi. But Captain Amrinder Singh's camp doesn't seem to be very happy with this kind of an arrangement. Amrinder's supporters, who were already unhappy with Sidhu being given an audience by the Gandhis yesterday in the national capital while keeping Amrinder Singh, the actual chief minister and poster boy of the Congress party over the last 4.5 years in Punjab, being given the royal snub. They've also expressed their displeasure over Sidhu being possibly given this kind of a top job in Punjab Congress. The decision by the Congress High Command has only added to the confusion in Punjab, bringing me to my legitimate question on the News Hour tonight. Is Captain not in control in Punjab Congress? That's the question and the debate on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining the debate with Sanjay Jha, Sujata Paul and Gaurav Bhatia is my friend, fellow journalist Rashid Kidwai. And Rashid Kidwai, you're the one who knows everything that's happening in everybody's backyard in the Congress party. So why don't you tell us what kind of a formula is this? By making Sidhu the Congress chief in Punjab, making Captain Amrinder Singh the face, you're basically ensuring that Sidhu will work towards defeating Captain Amrinder Singh in Punjab. At least that's what it seems like to the outsider. So what's this peacekeeping formula in Punjab?
Words and appreciation. See, the key point here is every political party wants to win an election. The Congress internal assessment is such that it thinks that under Captain Amrinder Singh's leadership, the Congress may not make it. So they would need Sidhu. You look at that BJP, the way BJP fought Assam election. See, in Assam, they had a full-fledged chief minister, a functional chief minister, but they gave more importance to Himanta Biswa Sarma, and the BJP made it. And then, Mr. Sarma becomes chief minister. You look at it in Uttarakhand, just before 1 year before the elections, the BJP changed chief minister. So political parties do these kind of things as per doctrine of necessity. So I think here is a situation where, as you had rightly pointed out, Captain will continue to lead the party, but Mr. Sidhu, who is a kind of star campaigner, who's stand on Kartarpur Sahib corridor and found a lot of traction, I think Sidhu is a man to watch out for.
Then why not go all the way and make Sidhu the new chief minister? If you think Captain's not going to make it, then take a decisive step. Because you're saying that the BJP did the same decisive step. They removed the Uttarakhand chief minister, brought in a new guy just about 6-8 months before elections and took a decisive position. Isn't that the way to go, Sanjay Jha?
It's a tough one for the Congress because ideally they should have nipped it in the bud long time ago. It has hardly a public secret that there have been problems between the captain and Mr. Sidhu. And, political contests, I can understand that there is going to be rivalry and aspirations and ambitions. But I think, to do it on the not very far from the election, especially because the Congress has surrendered Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh and Puducherry to the BJP, and even Rajasthan has been terribly troubled. So I do believe that the perception management has been absolutely substandard, because at the moment in Punjab, Navika, the Congress is almost a front runner which can only lose the election if it goofs up. And this is not a manifestation of a united party. And I do believe that the captain has conducted himself with exemplary restraint, given the way Navjot Sidhu has been giving all kinds of outrageous statements against the chief minister. So I think the leadership should have reined in this situation a lot earlier, because see, the damage to the Congress is much more. It opens the door for AAP to be up to mischief. And I will say it on your channel, what I've been saying everywhere. Congress's threat is not just from the BJP, it comes from AAP, especially in small states where it believes that it can either win the election or become leader of the opposition. So I frankly am disappointed, to not meet the captain, to meet Navjot Sidhu. Let's not deny it. It's terrible optics. It's awful optics. And, captain is a seasoned campaigner.
That is the point. And Sujata Paul, if the Congress actually wants to retain Captain Amrinder Singh as the face of Congress going into the polls, then you're not adding to his credibility by meeting with Sidhu, and while Captain Amrinder Singh is still waiting for his appointment with the High Command. That's not going to instill at least voters of the Congress party कि ये जिसको खड़ा किया है चीफ मिनिस्टर के पोजीशन के लिए उसको तो ये मिलते भी नहीं है, तो वोटर क्यों मिलेंगे उनसे? बताइए आप.
These are conjectures, that the party leadership did not meet CM Captain Amrinder Singh, because he has not said it. It is, out in the media, people are talking about it, but he has not said anything. And the fact that he is going to be the face of the Congress in the upcoming elections proves that he still remains the first choice of the party and the people. Secondly, as far as Sidhu is concerned, if Navjot Singh Sidhu is going to be made the PCC chief, understand one thing, that nobody wants to lose elections, and this will be his first stint. And if he tries to, like you say, if he tries to, get Captain Amrinder Singh defeated, is he going to remain in power? No. So everybody will fight the election.
I really don't understand. Either you are naive, or you don't know what is going on in the Congress party, or you think that we are all nuts, we don't understand anything. Navjot Singh Sidhu जाता है और प्रियंका गांधी के साथ उसकी, गांधी वाड्रा के साथ उसकी फोटो आ जाती है, राशिद किदवाई साहब. और उसके बाद then Sidhu goes and meets with Rahul Gandhi, and there is a whole retinue of cameras which reach there and see Sidhu going in and coming out after meeting Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. And Captain goes and meets the High Command, and there's no word. Captain is not saying anything. Congress is not. I mean, they didn't meet. Did they meet, Rashid Kidwai? Yes or no?
I think, Navika, this is one way of looking at it. If you look at the other point of view, see, the Captain Amrinder Singh is Chief Minister of the state. He is stable. He is not under any threat. It is Mr. Navjot Sidhu, who's an aggrieved party, who has a potential to cross over, who was a minister, who was dropped. That is the whole history of it. So it makes sense for the party leadership to be talking to him. As we all know, there was a committee, both sides had gone before the committee submitted report. From my understanding of issues, the committee's recommendations were not implemented. Captain was dithering. There may be a political reason for it, and that is why Priyanka Gandhi is out of the way to avert this kind of crisis. Remember one thing, Navika, both Captain Amrinder Singh and Ashok Gehlot, they are of course very, tall leaders, proven track record, etc. But they have not won.
But they are getting old, and you don't know how to get them out. Gaurav Bhatia.
Precisely.
Gaurav Bhatia, I want to ask you, the aggrieved party is Navjot Singh Sidhu, who has been abusing Captain Amrinder Singh, a sitting chief minister, and Rashid Kidwai tells us that aggrieved party is Navjot Singh Sidhu, and therefore the Congress is meeting him. What do you make of that?
Navika, since we are talking about Navjot Singh Sidhu and he has been a former cricketer, let us use the cricket analogy. And we don't know whether it would be Captain Amrinder Singh hitting a six or Navjot Singh hitting a six. But for sure, Congress will be out hit wicket. And now let me come to the fact that what has this bickering done? It has exposed the cracks within the Congress. Be it Punjab or Rajasthan, there is no leadership in the Congress, and the deep and pervasive consultations that were held reveal a lot about the internal democracy of the Congress party. Sidhu meets Priyanka Vadra Gandhi.
Well,
Priyanka
while that
Vadra
may be a
Gandhi is-
conclusion, Gaurav Bhatia, I only want to point out to you that in Punjab, the BJP is not going to be able to get any advantage about the dithering and the bad politics being played by the Congress party, as being stated by many. The fact is the BJP has also lost its alliance partner, the Shiromani Akali Dal, and the BJP is also almost hit wicket in Punjab, and the only gainer is possibly going to be the Aam Aadmi Party. Well, elections in the state early next year, it's all happening there in Punjab. The pot is boiling, and when there is a boiling pot, we get you the best dishes out of that pot, because we're here following the news on Times Now and on the News app. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on the News app. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe.